Okay, as it is. He says he has to get up at night around 3 to 4 a.m. in order to urinate. Hmm? And after passing the urine, the nose gets completely blocked, and even after, nothing will remove the obstruction. No amount of steam, no amount of doing anything will relieve him of this obstruction. Okay, and then it will eventually pass. It will stay there for around um, half an hour to 1 hour, and then it will go. And patient is having this on and off regularly for so many years. Okay, and imagine what is happening to his sleep schedule and how much problem it is causing to him, right? So he says, I have to. Then what do you do? I ask, then do you do, no, to get rid of it? He says, nothing relieves me of it. I have to breathe through the mouth for about half an hour or more, and there is loss of sensation of smell since past 2 months. Okay. During the period, now I ask him about, okay, let's inquire about past history. Okay. During the period 1999 to 2013, I had cough for almost 6 to 7 months in a year. Okay. Then when there is history of cough, you should always uh, try to rule out what the cause could be. Okay. Whether it is smoking or it's anything else, history of tuberculosis or what it is about. Okay. So this patient didn't have history of tuberculosis, but he had cough for almost 6 to 7 months in a year. He took some uh, different medications, okay, for it. And then eventually it went. He did not smoke. Okay. Then in 2005 and 2008, he got operated on a nasal mass. Hmm? On 4th April 2023, he got operated for right-sided inguinal hernia. And after that, he says that his BP had got shooted up, which was systolic 180 mm of Hg. And at the age of 24 years, when he was 24 years of age, he had jaundice. Okay. Now, this patient, when he came to me, he said that I got operated on this nasal mass um, twice, and now this is the third time that this has come up. I forgot to tell you that I also examined his nose, and on examining the nostrils, there was, on one side of the nose, there was complete obstruction of this nasal mass that had come up. Okay. And on the other side, it was partially obstructing the nasal passage. Right. So what do you do? What do we do about this then? Right. We take the case. We do our work. Right. We sit with the case. We do our work. Okay. So regarding his nature, patient says, I am mostly stressed about my son, doctor. I said, what about it? That he has an intercaste marriage, and these days, doctor, the marriages don't last. What if he gets divorced? Marriage is a support system where one can spend life together. This is not like it's life together. But if his relationship does not work, then it will be such a bad situation. Okay. For him, What is the stress? The stress is his son's marriage. But what is the stress there? That if his relationship doesn't work and he gets divorced, then what will happen? Marriage, which the patient thinks is a support system, that will be gone, and it will be a terrible situation for his son. Okay, but that is what our patient worries about. So for whom is this situation worrisome? For our patient. Are you getting me? What we perceive is what we are. Whatever is our perception to a situation or to other person's situation is what we are, right? So moving ahead, about his nature, he says, yes, he has spoken, we spoke about the situation of son's marriage. He says, I said, tell me more about your nature. He says, doctor, I get really angry at work. Why? Can you describe this further? He says, doctor, if anything happens against the law, then I get very angry. I said, okay. How do you respond to this situation? I asked. He says, but I never say anything or abuse the other person. Okay. Then I said, what do you do? I become completely silent. I won't talk or look at that person. Okay. Now we understand an emotion that the patient is showing, which is anger. Then what he reacts when he is angry. Okay. That he becomes silent and he doesn't talk or look at that person. Okay. And what brings on the anger? Anything that happens against the law, against the rule, then he gets angry and then that is how he reacts at his workplace. That's it. Okay. That is the history that I could take pertaining to his nature and uh, how he behaved. So I try and try to get more information from a different window. Okay, so personal history. So appetite, he says it's adequate. He has 3 meals per day. He's a vegetarian.